going backwards. You can clearly see the lines. You can see it on the back camera. Look at this big screen on the Tesla. If you don't have a Tesla, you don't know what you're missing. And it parked perfectly. All right, now I've already entered our destination. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in drive, and then as the system comes up, this little steering wheel comes up. It means Tesla Full Self-Driving is ready, and I will just put it in Tesla Full Self-Driving. And look at that! Look at that! It just left the parking spot on its own. I didn't have to do anything. I just pushed down, and it's going on its own. So I don't have that button to go yet, like the 13.2 users had, but I was able to put it in Tesla Full Self-Driving, and it's going on its own. All right, my Model Y with hardware 4 just got FSD 13.2.1. Let's take it out for a spin. So this version was trained in Colossus in Memphis, which is a new cluster that Tesla has, which eventually will have 100,000 Nvidia GPUs, and I think it's about 3/4 done. And this model is the first AI model used by Tesla Full Self-Driving FSD, where it's using the hardware 4 or AI 4 native resolution from the cameras. So before, it was kind of there was one model that was used both by hardware 3 and hardware 4, and so it was really trained on hardware 3, and then it was adapted to work on AI 4. But this model is trained exclusively on AI 4. So that there's a bunch of additional things that will work. For example, the resolution of the cameras. And let's see how it handles the stop sign here. Very smooth. It stops. It was here before that car, so no problem. It did it perfectly. So as it continues on, as it approaches, stop signs and red lights and makes left or right turns, I will talk about something else. But I will talk about whatever is happening. Otherwise, I will, talk about different things that have happened in the last few days that have had a huge impact on Tesla Full Self-Driving FSD. Okay, there's a bicycle over here in the bicycle lane and a stop sign, and we can see it sees the bicycle, no problem. Remember, you can watch the screen here, and the screen is showing everything that is outside. For those that are new to Tesla Full Self-Driving, the images are coming in through the cameras. There are 8 cameras, and there's a neural network, an AI model that identifies what is outside. So you can see here it sees the cars that are outside, and then it displays them here on the screen. So we can see the mind of the computer, the mind of the AI model, and then the next set of neural networks will then make once it has identified the objects that are around it, it makes a decision on what it should do. And then there's another set of neural networks then that will then execute on that decision. So should it, for example here, maybe it pressed the brakes, so it would stop at the red light. And you can see on the screen here, you can see the 3 red lights. You can see that it sees way more than I can. There are 2 cameras over here on top, right over here, and they're higher than me, so they can see a lot more than what I can do. Now there are also cameras on the side and in the back, so you can see that's why it's able to do this amazing rendering that you see on the screen, where it can see all the cars and everything that's around us. So as we move forward here, this FSD 13 was released to 4 main influencers in the Tesla community. They make amazing FSD videos and other shows as well, other spaces, including Omar from Hallmark's catalog, AI driver, dirty, dirty Tesla, and Chuck Cook. They're all really well known in the Tesla community, and I'm just amazed that just a few days after they got it, I get FSD 13.2.1, and I was so excited that I had to try it tonight. Now, one thing that, there you go. So you went green. You can see the two lights were green, and it's smooth. I feel it's like a human being driving. You can see I'm not touching the steering wheel. I'm not touching the brakes. I'm not touching the accelerator pedals. My hands are right here. Now there's a camera that's looking at my eyes, and it's making sure that I'm looking at the road. And there's a little green dot over here that that says, okay, I am paying attention to the road, and that's why Tesla Full Self Driving continues working. Otherwise, I would get a warning on the screen, and if I ignore it, I would get a strike. And if you get a certain number of strikes, you can't use FSD for a few days until they reset it. There you go. It went green. It saw those bikes, and it just went. And now there's another set of red lights here, and it slows down. And I love the way that it does, the animation as we start moving forward. It gives you kind of a view where it goes down. But as we approach the intersection here, notice how it gives us a bird's eye view, and we can see the cars from everywhere. Here's that truck over there, that U-Haul, and you can see it right there on the screen. Now, a thing that I see right away, that I see right now is that this hurry profile, there are 3 profiles. I covered this in another FSD video. It was only available on the freeway, so you can choose between 3 profiles. Do you want to go chill, standard, or hurry? Hurry will be a little bit more aggressive, and it'll go a little bit faster, and that's how I typically drive, so I chose the hurry profile. And the hurry profile now applies also on the city streets right now. So you can see here that I go 14% off. So if it's 25 the speed limit, I'm going 29 as the speed limit. And you notice that it just went to 29, which is exactly what I want. So it feels like I'm driving, and it feels like a human is driving. Another stop sign, it saw that car was over there, and now it continues on. Just perfect. It's hard for me because I've been using FSD since 2020. And I've seen it just getting so much better. And I go through things and I say, oh, it wasn't able to handle that before, and now it can. Here's another stop sign, and it sees that car stopped. That car didn't move, so it went, because that car could have gone and maybe would have waited. Since it didn't move, it went, and it did the right thing. See these little these bicycle signs that you see on the road? An earlier version of FSD would slow down on those, but now with a new model trained by Colossus, trained by these, thousands of Nvidia GPUs, they're turning around these models so much faster now, and these models feel human. They feel like a human being is driving. This is very different than heuristics code, which is what I did for 30 years, where I had to think of every single possible scenario. And if I made a mistake, then the quality of the software would suffer, right? Because the product managers and developers, we had to think of every single possible scenario. With AI, it's a little bit different. You train the model on, millions of miles of video of actual human drivers that are driving, and then the AI model will learn what to do as it approaches the different scenarios. Okay, we're passing here San Mateo High School, but it is at night, so there are no kids around right now. So it's doing it correctly. It's doing it at the right speed limit. I am sure that at some point it will handle school zones properly. It will know when there's when there are kids around, and it will go the right speed. A lot of people complaining about that, but it's just a question of time. Everything is a question of time. If you as a human being, if you can do it, then these AI models and Tesla Full Self-Driving will be able to do it. Okay, we continue here, and we're still, it's a 25 miles per hour speed limit. We're going 29, which is perfect, which is what I would do. It saw that yellow light and it slowed down perfectly. Sometimes I publish my FSD videos not only on YouTube and X, but I will post them, on Cybertruck Owners Club. We also have a Cybertruck. This is a Model Y, or Reddit. And Reddit particularly is full of negative Nellies. It wouldn't surprise me if some of them, are paid by our, those that want to see Tesla fail. There's valid criticism, especially on older versions. The newer versions are way better. But I see, obvious people just criticizing my videos when you can clearly see that they have never used it. And, I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see what it does here. There's a pickup truck here. It waited for the pickup truck, and now it's making the left, and it's perfect. And it feels so nice. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like, that the braking is too hard or too soft. It's just perfect. My mom already tells me that she prefers if the Tesla drives. And that was on version 12. So as we experience version 13, I think it'll be even more. Okay, it's making a right here. It slowed down very nicely, made the right. We're driving at night right now, but it's handling everything perfectly. Yeah, so going back to Reddit, I see these crazy idiots, and they tell me, oh, like if I publish a video, that's driving in a rural area, they'll tell me it doesn't work in the city. And if I publish it in the city, then they say, oh, it only works in California. And it's all, or they'll say it doesn't work in the rain. Morons. I'm beginning to sound like Steve Mark Ryan, because these idiots, they're obviously they just want to see Tesla to fail. And it wouldn't surprise me if some of them, oh, let's see what it does. We kind of arrived at the same time, but that car did a rolling stop, so we waited for it. So perfect. Just waited for that car. And, if you're shorting a stock, you're just going to try to lie because you're losing money, So you don't really care about the mission, you don't really have these lofty goals to help humanity. You're thinking short term, making a buck or two. Oh, another stop sign. There was a car that arrived there. Now here's a car. It's kind of going backwards. It moved nicely over the yellow line to stay away from it. Okay, we're going to go in here now. All right, we're back. We're going to take 13.2 here. It made a nice left turn there. Checked that nobody was coming. There was this Rivian coming, but it was far away. Two pedestrians over there. It saw them perfectly and just waited. Now it's going to make a right here on the stop sign. It stopped at the stop sign, and it's going to make a right perfectly. Wow. So far, zero interventions. I keep telling these, knuckleheads that they better believe us that this is going to go unsupervised by July of next year. We can see the progress. We can feel it. We're showing it to you, and they don't believe us, and it's going to cost them a lot. So, here's another stop sign. No cars. Perfectly. It continued on. Now there's a car there that was flashing its warning lights, and it went through perfectly, even though there was a car behind it. It didn't hesitate, it just went. Now over here, it's a little bit tricky. This is a left turn, and this street right here is fairly busy. So it's going to stop at the stop sign. It should just go Oh, and I had to, oh no, there was a stop sign. That was my mistake. There was a stop sign. I thought the car was coming. I missed it by 1 block. So that was not an intervention. I mean, it was an intervention, but it was my mistake. The other car was stopping at the stop sign and we could have continued on. Now this is where it's tricky. Here there's no stop sign for the other cars, and there's a bunch of cars coming both left and right. So it's going to stop at the stop sign, and now it's going to go forward a little bit. It sees that there's a car coming over there, and there's both on the left and on the right. There's another one on the right coming over there. This is pretty busy, even though it's late at night. Now it sees that it's clear on the left, it sees it's clear on the right, and perfectly. Just perfect. It made a left turn, completely unprotected, and now is in the correct lane. So I wanted to, on this version, try to take it a little bit further and take it on the freeway, so we can get a mixture of both city streets and highway at night. And so these people, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if some of them are not only Tesla Q, you know, short sellers. They're trying to short the Tesla stock, and they've lost billions in the last few years, and they're gonna continue to lose because they're knuckleheads and they don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just sad to see it. He used to talk. I remember I joined Tesla in 2016. Let's see how it handles here. It's going to make a right. There are 2 cars in front of us. By the way, look at this. I'm only seeing 1 car in front of us, but if you look at the screen, there were 2 cars. 2 cars that were rendered. And the reason is because of the 2 cameras, right? See, there's 1 car there and there's another one over there. I can only see 1, but FSD can see 2. And now it's green. That car continued forward, and this one made a right, and it just did it perfectly. So again, you know, he was like questioning whether we would deliver, you know, the number of cars that we were delivering. When I joined Tesla back in 2016, we were delivering 70,000 cars a year, right? The next year we almost doubled. I believe we were at 120,000. I worked in logistics, and it wasn't easy. It was all hands on deck. I worked on mobile apps for truck drivers and delivery users and service center users. And it was a lot of work, you know, not only on the IT side to get these apps ready and these are the websites, the internal websites and mobile apps that we had. All right, it's going to make a left here. It's green. Everything looks good. Just like that car made a left. Here's a FSD 13.2.1 making that left perfectly. And it feels so natural. It feels so good. I think it's driving better than me now. I think not only my mom says that, but I'm going to admit it. I think it drives better than me. Certainly probably safer than me. All right, another stop sign with a car in front of us. That car is making a left. We're going to go straight here and get onto the freeway. It's waiting. There's a car there coming towards us, but it's not crossing us. So perfectly. Now, as we get on the freeway, we are in the hurry profile. So the speed limit goes to 65. Look how it accelerates beautifully. We're already at 50. It merged nicely onto the freeway. 55, 56. Since we're in the hurry profile, it will go all the way up to 74, 75, which is 14% of the speed limit, which is what I set it as, right? So here we go. We're already at 71. It's already passing these slow cars. We are on 101 South in the Silicon Valley. So a few cities here. There's San Mateo. We're going to go towards Foster City. Then we'll see, Burlingame, Belmont, San Carlos, and then of course Palo Alto, Mountain View, and then a little bit more south you're going to see San Jose and Fremont. So lots of companies that you've heard of. Apple here is in Palo Alto, Google here is in Mountain View, Tesla is in Fremont, just a little bit further. Now it wants to go here on the right lane because we're going to take the exit to go towards the 92 freeway, and this is going to be a little bit tricky. We're a little bit in a pickle because there's a car behind us that's not leaving a lot of space, but there's FSD. It accelerated, found the space, and just squeezed in. Just beautifully done, beautifully done. You know how many people struggle just making these simple lane changes and trying to squeeze in? You know how many lives Tesla full self-driving will save? There are 40,000 people that die in the US due to traffic accidents every year. You know what FSD doesn't do? It doesn't drink and drive. It doesn't look at its phone and text while driving. It doesn't get into road rage, right? Right there, that's probably like 80% of most of the traffic accidents, injuries, and death. There are over 1 million people every year that are injured in the United States alone. In the world, there's over 1 million people that die in traffic accidents. So these people that are against Tesla full self-driving, that are trying to stop Tesla from releasing this amazing technology that they spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They're killing people. And that's the way we should look at it, and we should fight them with all that we can. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit excited here, but it is unbelievable to me. Once I started, working on Tesla full self-driving videos, I see, these fraudsters, the scum of the earth, and they come and attack you. Video after video, they come and attack you, and it's based on nothing. It's based just on their interests. Whether they are short sellers, whether they work for oil companies, or maybe they are in the LiDAR business, or maybe they work for a legacy auto. This 100-year-old companies that are still working with engines that sip on dinosaur juice while using dinosaur technology, and they're not working towards trying to save lives or towards trying to make our environment a little bit cleaner. They're just thinking of money. That's all they think of, and they pay people to attack us, and a lot of us are sick and tired of it, and that's why we're working on these videos. Hurry profile on FSD 13.2.1, just working great. We're now taking the exit here. This is the last exit in Foster City before we get to the 92 bridge, and it just handled it perfectly. It's keeping a nice safe distance from the car in front of us, and it's getting close now to the red light here. It knows it has to make a left, and again, I'm gonna repeat, what I heard from Omar and AI Driver and Chuck Cook and Dirty Tesla. It just feels so natural, guys. It's like, I want you guys to get this. If I got it, right, who am I? If they're the whales, influencers in our community, I'm like a little tuna, right? So if I got it, you guys are gonna get it soon too. And there you go. It handled that right turn perfectly. And now there's another red light. It can see far away. Look at the multiple red lights over there, and it's rendering all of these red lights on the screen for us. You can see one here, another one here, another one here, and you can see them on, in front of us and on the screen. It can see all those cars over there, and it stopped perfectly. And it also stopped. It handled the braking was gradual. It didn't hit the brakes hard. It doesn't accelerate hard. It does it very nicely. Now, because I'm in a hurry profile, it will get to that speed that I want, but it just feels natural. it feels for me way better than most Uber drivers that I've ever used, Uber and Lyft drivers. For certain, better than Waymo. I've taken a couple of Waymo rides in San Francisco, and it's way better than Waymo, way better than Uber, and way better than Lyft. So we're getting close here to our destination, and I'm going to continue making Tesla full self-driving videos. You know, hat tip here to JC. I will post a link to you know, he also makes FSD videos in Texas and Kentucky. He was in Kentucky not long ago. Awesome videos. You guys should watch it as well. Hustletown also makes FSD videos in the Houston area with some awesome music. And you guys should watch their videos as well. I will post their profile so you guys can watch it down. All right, it's green here. It's gonna make a left, just perfect, and I am going to take over. We've reached our destination. Okay, so let me ask Tesla here, Tesla Full Self-Driving, to auto park. So I've selected over here my parking spot, and it's parking on its own. It's going backwards. You can clearly see the lines. You can see it on the back camera. Look at this big screen on the Tesla. If you don't have a Tesla, you don't know what you're missing. And it parked perfectly. All right, now I've already entered our destination. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in drive, and then as the system comes up, this little steering wheel comes up. It means Tesla Full Self-Driving is ready, and I will just put it in Tesla Full Self-Driving. And look at that! Look at that! It just left the parking spot on its own. I didn't have to do anything. I just pushed down, and it's going on its own. So I don't have that button to go yet, like the 13.2 users had. But I was able to put it in Tesla Full Self-Driving, and it's going on its own. All right, we have another red light here, and we're going to make a left. It sees all of the cars in front of us, gives us that nice bird's eye view, so we can see which cars are coming. Throat is a little bit dry here, so I'm going to drink a little bit. This is unbelievable. It shows how, by being able to train the model, by using these additional AI4 capabilities, including resolutions on the cameras, this is the first time, at least for me on 13.2.1, where it's actually using the AI4 camera resolutions. And by being trained on those camera resolutions, and by having this huge cluster of Nvidia GPUs to train the model, you can clearly see the difference.
Hey everyone, my name is Emmanuel, and I worked 7 years at Tesla here in California. And now I make videos about Tesla tech and Tesla full self-driving. I believe Tesla full self-driving will save lives, and I need your help to get the word out. So like this video and follow me or subscribe for more Tesla content. We can help save lives, one click at a time. Let's go Tesla and stay curious.